Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash, and double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to those for elect here in this word of truth and in sincerity. Alright, I'm the brother Iwalam from the GMS West Palm Beach Camp. I'm back with another lesson, and through the spirit, as you can see, Apple launches, digital ID. All right, it says Apple introduces digital ID, a new way to create and present an ID in Apple Wallet. So those of us in the loop, or in the know, we know that these are all steps leading to the mark of the beast. And beginning with the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone and the men on down. All right, these things have been said for years. All right, that Esau Edom would gradually bring about, this system, and it was over the years that he did this, increments, man. All right, now we're witnessing, the Apple, digital ID. See, everything is going digital, and this shows you, all right, that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai did set up true prophets on the earth, because among the Israelites, you have false prophets. Among the world, you got false prophets. All right, but the truth would be somewhere, So as we're seeing, see what I'm saying? As we're seeing, the system has been set up right before your very faces, and before you know it, this digital ID is going to become a part of people's lives, And yeah, it's introduced right now. You're going to have some people be like, oh wow, I need this to buy. I need this to identify it. They're gonna feel iffy about it at first, but then, when their lives, is completely controlled by it, hey man, they're gonna just give into it, and it's the same energy that is gonna be met towards the mark of the beast. It says, continuing on, digital ID offers a secure and private way for users to create an Apple ID. It's like an ID in Apple Wallet using information from their U.S. passport and present their ID with iPhone or Apple Watch. You see, and it all trickles down to convenience. Okay, convenience, because you won't have to pull out your passport no more, or you won't have to pull out your wallet or to get your ID or your license or whatever identification card. Why? Because it's gonna be all in your phone. It's gonna be all in the Apple ID, So this little steps being taken, to bring it about to the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. All right. Let's get a quick scripture in the book of Habakkuk, however you want to say it, chapter 2. Because now, the men of the Lord don't seem like crazies, for the lack of a better word. And it's gonna be more so when they introduce that chip. Brothers are saying the same thing every week, bringing out the same precepts every week, day to day, year to year. All right, the time is gonna come to where you're gonna desire to hear these precepts be brought out, but you will not be able to. The time is gonna come where you're gonna hear these breakdowns, the breakdowns of Revelation 13, 12, 11, in different scriptures, and you will not be able, because the Lord's going to bring about the famine of the word. It says, Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 2, it says, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it, and our apostles, and their elders before them made the vision plain, to the point where, us brothers here today, we have an understanding of the scriptures. Throughout Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, for the true leadership to teach us, the breakdowns, man, because as we can see, all right, these other camps, they're bugging out. You got, guys that used to teach, heathen cannot make it, are not saying that the heathen can make it, can receive salvation. You got guys still refuse to teach what the mark of the beast is, man. And the system is right in front of your face. So that's why, we are grateful for, the true leadership. All right. It says, verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You see? The vision of what? These prophecies, man. When you first came into the truth, and the Lord brought you into the truth, you felt like the world was going to end the next day. All right? But as it says, the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right? Babylon's destruction is for an appointed time, because there were prophecies that had to be fulfilled before the destruction of Babylon the Great America. All right? But now we're witnessing it, man. We're witnessing this place fall. All right? Esau suffering. Everybody's suffering. And the only difference between the elect and the rest of these people out here is that the Lord is going to cover his elect. But let's continue on with the digital ID. You see? They got it all right here. An example of it. A card with your name on it. So like I said, and that's the spirit, because I was explaining to my mom the other day how they want to make everything become digital. They want to make everything become digital. And then, she, at the moment, she can't understand what I'm talking about. She can't understand like what I'm saying, like concerning the digital ID, because Jake up there in age, they're not really technologically fancy like that. That technological stuff is really, our generation, and the generation after us, but the older generation, they're not tech savvy like that. So when I try to explain to them, that everything's going digital, she was still trying to understand it. But nonetheless, as these things come to pass, it's going to make more sense as to what, we were all saying. All right? This is the Slack. It says, Apple today announced the launch of Digital ID, a new way for users to create an Apple and ID wallet. Slacky. An ID in Apple Wallet using information from the U.S. passport, and present it with the security and privacy of iPhone or Apple Watch. At launch, Digital ID acceptance will roll out first in beta and TSA checkpoints at more than 250 airports in the U.S. for in-person identity verification during domestic travel, with additional digital ID acceptance use cases to come in the future. So you can see that this is all being used for security, peace, and safety. All right. So Esau Edom got different avenues in which he's going to bring this thing in. All right, you got the security, and you got the medical. Because at the end of the day, the road is leading to the mark of the beast. All right, it don't matter which road they take, how they take it. At the end of the day, they want to enslave you into the system. That's where it's headed. All right. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Let's get that real quick, there is no vision. This is Proverbs 29 and verse 18. It says, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Right? And these people don't got the vision, man. All right? Christianity don't got the vision. All right? Because to truly have, the vision of what's getting ready to happen, you got to have the truth. And of course, Yahweh Shem Yahushua will give people visions about, different scenarios, that may take place. Like, for example, people get visions of, this place going down, Babylon going down, right? But what I'm talking about is they really don't have the vision through the scriptures. All right, a lot of people do not have the vision through the scriptures. They'll get visions, but they themselves can't even explain what they saw in a dream. They'll tell you what they saw, but they can't explain what it means, though. All right? It won't take until a brother to see that vision and be like, okay, this is what that means, this is what this means. All right? So that just go to show you that, you know, the prophets, the men of the Lord, through the Spirit and Prophet Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, is needed, all right, for these people, for our people, are to get right with the Lord, man. You know, because the Lord said in the book of Hosea 12 and 10, I have spoken by the mouth of the prophets and used visions by the similitudes of the prophets, man. You know, so the Lord, if you want to get the understanding of the Bible, get the understanding of, what how they say it, God, you gotta go through His prophets. His prophets is gonna tell you, what you need to know according to the Bible. You know, you're not just gonna walk up to God, and have a one-on-one with Him. All right, because His prophets, the men of the Lord, they answer to Yahushua. So it's all a chain. Because a lot of people, they like to say my relationship, my relationship with Jesus, they call Him Jesus. And of course, we all have a relationship with Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, right? There's an order to things. You don't just go to Yahushua, all right? There's an order. Because the women, too, they like to be like, my relationship with God, my relationship with Jesus, as they say it, right? Completely, putting the man to the side. But really, the Lord set up the man, for you to be obedient unto Him. The Lord's going to deal with the man. But nevertheless, let's continue on with the article. It says, digital ID gives more people a way to create and present an ID, an Apple Wallet, even if they do not have a real ID compliant driver's license or state ID. You see, convenience. So even if you don't have, a real ID, you may not have a physical ID. Like, let's say you forgot your wallet at home, and you probably live like an hour away, and you just realize that shit, I forgot my wallet. I can't drive an hour back home and get it and come back. Well, you got the ID on your phone, on your Apple Wallet. You see? That's convenience. So we can see where Esau Edom is taking this, man. And convenience is going to be why a lot of people fall for the trick. All right? It says, digital ID is not a replacement for a physical passport and cannot be used for international travel and border crossing in lieu of U.S. passport. With the launch of digital ID, and you can't believe nothing that Esau said. He'll say it's not this, it's not that. This man's the devil. He's got a forked tongue. And that's something that you learn in this truth, is that, Esau got a forked tongue. You can't believe anything that he said. All right? It says, with the launch of digital ID, we're excited to expand the ways users can store and present their identity, all with the security and privacy built into iPhone and Apple Watch. You see? Just the goal is to make you feel safe with this, right? The goal is to make you, see no harm in joining yourself into the system. All right? And right when he got you, he's gonna strike, because now you're all incorporated into it. It's become part of your life. So now, he can very well just say, okay, you can't do this unless you take that. Mind you, everything is already on that digital wallet, digital ID. It's already set up. Now you just got to take that chip, to pretty much, cement it. And that's what the big plan was. The big plan was to get you incorporated, to gradually get you in it, and then as soon as you're in it, everything's all set up. Well, now you gotta take this to keep it. You see? It says, since introducing the ability to add a driver's license or a state ID to Apple Wallet in 2022, we've seen how much users love having their ID right on their devices. Digital IDs brings this secure and convenient option to even more users across the country, as they can now add an ID to wallet using information from their U.S. passport. You know? So it's more to it. Let's get to the book of the scripture that came to mind. Salaki. I'm trying to think of it. It came to my mind and just slipped me. Lord willing, come back to mind, but I'm gonna keep reading. It says right here, like all IDs in Apple Wallet, a digital ID takes advantage of the privacy and security features already built into iPhone and Apple Watch to help protect against tampering and theft. You know, and that goes to show you that, you know, Esau Edom, he brings the order out of chaos, man. All right, order out of chaos. They bring the chaos, and then for them to bring the order, because you best believe a lot of these thefts and a lot of these security breaches that happen, you know, it's allowed by them, only for them to come on the back end and be like, well, here's the solution. Here's the solution for that. You know, and it won't happen again, we promise. You know, that's the devil for you. All right, but the end goal is, as I'm gonna keep saying, the end goal is to pretty much know that chip. All right. When users create a digital ID, their passport data is stored on the device. Apple cannot see when and where users present their ID or what data presented. Biometric authentication using Face ID or Touch ID also ensures that only the owner of the digital ID can present it. You see? So it's all about data too. All your data, everything is gonna be on that, man. And this pretty much means that Esau knows everything about you. You know? He's trying to be the Most High. You know how the Lord, He knows your spirit. He knows everything about you. Esau Edom, through technology, he's trying to, be God, man. Be the Lord, Yahweh. All right? He's trying to know, what you do, when you do. All right? According to, like, you know how you be on your phone, what period of time you do this, what you do that. He's trying to be God amongst, all right, he's trying to be God among the people, man. But the Lord's getting ready to stop this, man. All right, the Lord's getting ready to pretty much, put this man down, put this rulership down. This is all wickedness. All right, but that's pretty much the point, man. I wish that the scripture didn't slip me, but it was according to the will of the Lord. I really want to bring that scripture out. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. Look, we almost there. All right, the system is already set up. They just need something to happen to where they can give themselves an excuse to do this thing, man. Shit. Yo, what the fuck is wrong with this guy right here, man? Slakia, man. This dude right here in this big ass truck driving crazy, bro. But Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. Shalom to the elect. Until next time I see Shalom.